We're well over a month into the season and the bruises are here to stay, and toughness, well, that's about to be challenged as we hit the home stretch in the North Dakota high school football schedule. Hi again, everyone. Jody Norstead with Midco Sports Network here to talk about our weekly top performers and award our 7th game ball of the season. Big thanks to our sponsors at Farmers Union Insurance. This week, we're chucking the pigskin to the northwest corner of the state for a 9-man quarterback that is lighting up the stat sheet this season, Noah Fredrickson of Ray Powers Lake, who has the Outlaws sitting at 5-1 on the year. More on his performance in a bit. But let's crack open this top performers list because we have some great performances to talk about. Killdeer senior QB Zach Anderson passed for 156 yards and a trio of scores. He also rushed for a $183 and a touchdown. Defensively, he added 9 tackles in the Cowboys' 43-24 victory over New Salem Glen Ullin. Killdeer has a huge matchup with Trinity on Friday night. From one Anderson to another, Micah Anderson is starting to be a weekly guest on this list. He showed no mercy for winless Hatton Northwood, rumbling for 161 yards and 5 touchdowns on only 14 carries. Anderson added 11 tackles and a sack on defense in the 39-12 victory. Big tilt coming up for Sargent County. The Bulldogs play at Thompson this Friday. Sam Roller of Thompson was our game ball winner a week ago. Wyndmere Lidgerwood has a stud sophomore in Andrew Arth. He ran wild on Finley Sharon Hope Page Friday night, picking up 178 yards and 4 TDs on 17 carries. This next guy had the highlight of the night on Friday. That alone might have earned him a spot on the top performance list. Beulah's Nate Bateste made this phenomenal one-handed interception in the tight loss to St. Mary's. That was one of 2 interceptions for Bateste in the game, and he added a fumble recovery too. That's just his defensive production. He also racked up 165 yards of offense and a score. The returning All-State pick is having a stellar senior season for the Miners. You know how John Gruden used to have his Gruden grinder? If I could steal that label and kind of make it my own, maybe Norstead's Nightmare or something, I'd give it to Trey Jacob. The guy's an absolute workhorse for Linton HMB, and he had to carry an extra load last week with senior QB Lucas Schumacher sidelined with an injury. Jacob carried the ball 35 times for 280 yards and a trio of scores, helping the Lions knock off Mott Regent New England 28-6 to move to 3-1. Shanley's Emmett Kenny won the game ball a few weeks ago thanks to his state record 58-yard field goal. What did he do in Shanley's return from a bye week? He knocked home not 1, but 2 50-yard field goal attempts in the Deacons' 41-7 Saturday matinee victory over Red River. Kenny also hit all 5 of his PATs and booted 7 touchbacks. He's putting together the best kicking season in state history. We'll have him live on Midco Sports Network Friday as the Deacons host West Fargo. Now some love for the big boys. Andrew Langgang and Lucas Schweigert anchored a Bismarck Century offensive line that blocked for 247 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns on 14 total offensive plays. Yes, 7 touchdowns on 14 plays. Langgang, the Kansas State commit, and Schweigert, a D1 prospect himself, also combined for 10 tackles on defense, limiting Williston to just 33 yards on 21 carries in the first half. The Patriots blitzed the Coyotes 71-0. We haven't talked too much 6-man football, but I figured we'd give Seth Robinson of Midway Minto some love. The senior QB and linebacker had a rushing score, a passing score, and 2 pick sixes in the Mustangs' 65-6 win last week. Midway Minto and Drake Animu square off in a battle of 6-man unbeatens this Saturday. The next guy on this list needs no introduction. 1 week after suffering a hip injury, Jordan Sowers returned and rushed for nearly 200 yards and a quartet of touchdowns in Lisbon's 32-6 win over Thompson. Sowers looked like a man on a mission on Friday night. Lisbon is in the driver's seat to win another Region 1 title. Second-ranked Cavalier made the hike all the way up to 5th-ranked St. John and rolled back home with a W. Sophomore running back Jacob Steele played one of his best games of the season, rushing for 120 yards and 2 scores, while also piling up 12 tackles and 2 sacks on defense to beat the Woodchucks 38 rip. It looks like the Tornadoes will be the Region 2 champs once again. We stay in 9-man for this week's Game Ball winner, sponsored by Farmers Union Insurance. Ray Powers Lake is 5-1 on the year, and the Outlaws are coached by former UND tight end Seth Wistoff. He has a pretty gifted QB in 6-foot, 195-pound senior Noah Fredrickson. Fredrickson earned this week's award after completing 10 of 16 passes for 296 yards and 6 TDs. To make it even better, 5 different receivers caught those 6 touchdowns in the team's 52-14 win over Central McLean. Fredrickson throws a nice ball, and I absolutely love the backdrop here. Right next to the water of Powers Lake. Add this field to my bucket list, if only it weren't over 5 hours away. Someday. Anyway, Fredrickson has now completed 62 of his 100 pass attempts for 1,400 yards this season to go with 21 touchdowns against 4 interceptions. That's a pretty darn good year. Congrats to Noah and the Outlaws, who are now 5-1 and share first place in Region 3 with Surrey and Divide County. A reminder that we have live North Dakota High School football this weekend on Midco Sports Network. West Fargo at Shanley, 7 p.m. on Friday, and Bismarck at Minot, 7 p.m. Saturday. Plus, Varsity Sports Live, 10:30 Friday night. We'll see you then.